Okay.
Hi, I'm Deborah Stevenson, a poet and spoken word artist based in Nottingham. I'm also the founder and director of the Mouthy Poets, which is a collective of 50 young poets who meet on a weekly basis at Nottingham Playhouse to write, edit, perform and produce poetry events of every scale that you can imagine. My involvement in the creative scene at Nottingham, first and foremost, stems from me believing that creativity, but particularly poetry, is learning how to communicate with yourself and the world. And when I came here at 18 to study at Nottingham Uni, I saw loads of young people rapping, dancing, performing, but maybe not enough of them really engaging with their writing as something that could be professional. There's loads of open mics, the literature scene here is massive, and I went to all of them. But when I came here in 2008, I was kind of the youngest person by about 20 years. Which, coming from London and the poetry scene there, which is so young and buzzing, it kind of felt like there was a disparity there that I wanted to address. And that's one of many reasons why I set up the Mouthy Poets that have been running for 4 years now. And through them, many of those young people are working in schools. We've just finished a programme today in John Academy, working with every single student in the school. We ran a showcase with them last week, which was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Just seeing 25 odd young people from year 7 to year 11 talking about how they feel and having 100 odd people listen, which is kind of actually what I'm about, doing that in any capacity. Mouthy have their biggest show ever on this Saturday at the Playhouse, which is Say Something 7. And that really represents my engagement with the creative scene, because we're going to have a live jam which is going to be facilitated by Project Studios, which is a community studios based in the Meadows, set up entirely by a young Nottingham person that just used his student loan to get young people writing and performing their work, bringing the Roundhouse up for London. I really believe in making people from London come here. Let's not always go there. To an intimate showing in the Neville studio with 100 people in an open mic so that other people can come up and share their work with us, to a massive show with John Agard, who's also coming up from London, to perform to 300, 400 people and just fill that building with people that are creative and established, people that want to be creative and are emerging, and people that have no idea what creativity is but have just wandered in and actually realise they can engage with it because they are human. So yeah, there's a splurging blare of my and Mouthy's involvement in the creative scene in Nottingham. What excites me about Nottingham at the moment is kind of all of that stuff. I think it's just people have to make stuff happen. In London, I think stuff's happening around you and you can kind of jump on the back of that, whereas in Nottingham, people are just doing stuff. There's loads of independent shops everywhere. I'm seeing loads of, pop-up art just appear everywhere. I'm seeing people just congregate in Market Square and begin dancing and creating stuff. And I think there's a real sense of grassroots stuff happening, a sense of we need to do this, so we're going to make it happen, that I really enjoy about here. And in terms of the spoken word scene and poetry in Nottingham, 50 young people meeting every week and sharing their words. Every single person in Nottingham City Academy engaging with this. At the showcase the other day, I heard a poet say to, one of the young people say to a poet, "Are you part of the Mouthy Poets?" And it was like that was something to aspire towards, which I think that really excites me, And last year, the Say Something show we did, that is this one's modelled on now, we had like 400 people in Nottingham Playhouse listening to poetry by young people, which for me, that's something that's not really happening that often in London. So for that to be happening here in Nottingham, for us to be going for UNESCO City of Literature, for Nottingham Writer Studio to have their own building that people just knock on the door of and say, "Do we write here?" I think there's an interesting thing happening. The elite frame of what writing is being broken down, and we're beginning to connect with the street corner art that is everywhere in this city. And for me, hopefully, that will explode even more this Saturday at the Playhouse for Say Something 7.